on the wall that's been destroyed by my kiddo.
Yeah.
Damn it. Oh, we're live. Hi. There.
What's up, my
What's going
friend?
on, brother? It's been a depressing week.
Dude, I guess I should go ahead and do the show intro like we normally do.
Sure, let's do that.
Guys, I'm Chris Pesek, broker associate at Pesek Properties with the Dripping Springs home team. And if y'all didn't notice, Steve was just listening to me longingly right there.
No, I was trying to tuck in my 1970s style shirt going. I don't know what this is. Like, hey, ladies, I don't know if it's a Fonz or something, whatever.
And guys, this gentleman who is one gold medallion and a couple of chest hairs away from being a 70s king is
you can get rid of the rest of the beard and keep the mustache. Open up the front a little bit.
Stephen Babcock, mortgage loan originator extraordinaire at CMG Financial. And it's after hours real estate. Guys, it's 5 o'clock. It's after 5 o'clock. What we do on this every week, if you don't know, is we sit around, we drink a couple of adult beverages. We talk like we know what's going on in real estate and in mortgages and stuff like that. I try not to spill stuff on my shirt like I have, and now you're never going to not see it. That is not a bug.
I wouldn't have pointed that out. There's something wrong with everyone's screen. That's
yeah.
Really
There's
the
something
issue
on the
here.
screen. It's okay. I was a slob when I was eating today, and now I have a stain.
Yeah.
But anyway, my man, I saw some not so great news today. Like, there's some stuff going on. Oh, wait, before we get into that, what are you drinking? Because I know you're drinking.
Yeah, my Ying-a-Lang.
Ying-a-Lang. Carolyn said, already saw it, was going to ask if it was alive. It is not alive. It could be alive. I don't know. If it starts like crawling over my face like in Venom, run.
That'd just be kind of cool, actually. I know
actually
that guy.
Yeah. I am, since it's finally getting a little warm, and I'm not going to like hurry the spring off by any means, but I'm drinking in my trusty Shiner beer tumbler a little Goodnight Loving vodka lemon soda because it's that time of year. It's that time of year.
Excellent. That's good. No, it was a good call, all of it.
Cheers.
So I have this. Cheers, brother. I have this gaming PC that I've been using to play video games with my kids.
You have been using it to work Auto GPT. Don't lie. Anyway, go ahead. Didn't mean to.
Actually, that's on my laptop, which is like way more advanced than my gaming PC because it's like 5 years newer, right?
Yeah.
But the gaming PC still plays Minecraft like a beast, right? And so everything's been great. And I've been playing Minecraft, and my special needs kiddo, Luke, he sits behind us and he watches. He loves watching. Yeah. And then Whit and I recreate Taylor Swift studio stages. She's got this weird. He's obsessed with her. That and Dua Lipa, and like if he sees any kind of performer, he wants to make their stage in Minecraft and pretend that he's performing. It's the cutest thing in the world, and I encourage it.
Time out. I'm gonna just go out and maybe, just maybe, you should show him some Beastie Boys live videos.
Oh, brother, we have just begun this journey, and you better believe, with my background, I mean, my whole family's musical, man. He's gonna get that treatment. But long story short is that the computer crapped out on me. 10-year-old computer, 2013. Doesn't seem like it should be 10 years, but it is 10 years. Oh my god, and like fully crapped out on me. And I think I found a replacement online.
Dude, and I'm only mentioning this to you on Facebook, is it?
Which one now? What are we talking? No, hell no. Oh my God. Right. So like, you think I would have learned from last time, right? Jesus, maybe I should stop doing this now that I've said this out loud, but I found an Alienware computer, a used one. It should be great. It should be fine. And it's, the kids are excited. And that's really all that's happened in the personal life recently. I actually don't have anything else besides that. In terms of business though, wise, it's been kind of a whirlwind. It's been really boring until recently.
It has been boring, but it's not going in the right direction.
No, it's going in the absolute wrong direction. I tell you, there are a couple things that are happening, but a few times now, not two, but at least three.
The market reacted pretty violently today.
Yeah, the market has been trying to increase to improve the rates, right? To
Yep.
get them to go down.
Yeah.
And what that really means is raising bond prices. So when bond prices go up, the rates go down. And so the market, at least 3 times now, has really rallied to go up, 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 and it slams its head on this line of resistance. Does it again, does it again. You can only do that so many times before the market sees that and says, "Uh-oh, if we're not going up, then we must be going down," right? And so, and that's what the market does. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, and it just swings back and forth for the most part, right? Especially if you look, 1,000-eye view, right?
Yeah.
And so, long story short is, I don't see rates getting much better anytime soon. I do think in the long run they will, but right now, it's not looking great. And what also isn't looking great is the debt ceiling argument, which, God, how many times have we been alive that we've lived through the debt ceiling and at the umpteenth hour, and oh God, aren't you senators great? They stayed up all night and argued, and okay, when they passed a bill that'll keep us in debt. It's just
whatever.
Yay, it's just unreal.
Is it? But
oh, crap.
Just
could
happened.
be me. Could be me.
Dude, we're talking about it, and somebody's trying to blink us out. So hang on.
There was nothing stranger than when I was talking about AI, and it started. That was the weirdest thing in the world.
Okay, so here you go, buddy. I'm gonna pull up because I was looking.
Are you still here?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can hear you, Steve.
Well, I see you. Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
Well, that was weird. All right, great. So this is what you're talking about here. Great.
This is what you're talking about, right? These are the mortgage rates, like hitting hard bottoms and hard tops, and yeah. So we're about to get to a head here.
So these are rates, but they're not bonds. And believe it or not, they're not directly correlated. They are correlated. They are absolutely correlated, but it's not a direct, bonds went up 1%, rates went up 1% kind of thing.
Yep.
There's the actual rates feed through the bonds, but then there's profit on top of it with banks, and there's more or less appetite for that depending on market conditions, right? So, so I had a client today. If I would have locked them in on Friday, they were not under contract Friday. They went under contract on Sunday. But if I were able to lock them on Friday, they'd be in the high 6s. And no, I had to lock them today, and now they're in the low 7s. And and if I'd locked them a month ago, they would have been in the mid 6s. And so it's But here's the other thing I want you to look at when you look at that graph is look at the wild swings.
Oh yeah, and that's what I thought you were talking about. And that's why I wanted to bring it up. In addition to your descending wedges and all that good stuff, or whatever your wedges are called. There have been massive swings in this since January, right?
Yeah, it's really annoying. It's really annoying. Let me tell you, the psychology behind somebody who is about to buy a home, and as the lender, I told them the rate was going to be 6.5%, and now that you're under contract, oh, sorry, it's 7.25. The first thought that I would have, and I think most people would have, is, all right, well, is this guy full of it, right? What's he trying to pull here?
Yeah, what are you pulling on me? Yeah.
Yeah, and prior to 2008, that would have been a great question, because if I were to raise the rate on you prior to 2008, and actually it's really prior to 2009 because of the changes in the banking industry, but if I were to give you a really high interest rate when the rates were, let's say the rates were 5% and I gave you a 6.5, well, I actually made a hell of a lot more money by doing that. Now, I was not a lender back then. Okay, that's my defense. I became a lender in 2012, so I don't know what that was like, but I've heard stories. I've also heard stories where if, hey, show up to me and put you in an ARM loan, an adjustable rate mortgage, right? The one that'll change every couple of years to whatever the market is. And I'll get paid 6 or 7%. But if I put you in a fixed rate loan, I'd only get paid 2 or 3%, right? And that was a thing in the past too. Today, it doesn't work that way. It might, but it shouldn't. If you do a conventional loan, you should be getting paid the same every conventional loan, right? So even an ARM would be a conventional FHA, et cetera. So so long story short is you have to get paid the same on every loan. So it wouldn't make me more money to raise the rate on someone where it was literally designed that way beforehand. So if I give you that rate, chances are that's just where rates are, and I'm not being a sleaze, right? And nor would I be, right? But you don't know that. And so it's annoying. But now look at the flip side, where it was 6.5 when we started. A month and a half later, now the rates got better. Now it's 6. Instead of saying, "Ooh, what's this guy trying to pull here?" You go, "Wow, this guy's great," right? Nothing changed except market conditions, right? Yep. Nothing changed at all. One makes you think I'm a swindle. The other one makes you think I'm a saint.
That's right.
And it's very annoying from a this is what I do for a job perspective. I have to be really blunt with you on that one. It's really not a fun aspect of the job,
no,
at least in one direction.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sometimes, you're a god, and then other times it's like, well, because last week we were talking about how you're Nostradamus.
Oh my God, can we talk about that? I don't usually get it that good. I mean, I'm usually not bad, but that was great. That was great. So we locked these people in. My company has this float down thing. So if you lock in with me and the rates get better, we'll float you down. Now, it's a little more complicated than that. Okay, you have to pay a small penalty for getting rid of the first lock. To then relock the second lock because there's costs involved. But long story short is that that loan was closing. I mean, I'd like to claim credit for it, but it was just that loan was supposed to close on the 19th, and y'all were like, "Can we close it on the 12th instead?" I'm like, "Sure, let's go." So we were ready to go, so fine. So we closed it a week early. Thing is, we were waiting around to relock. Right, to float down the rate. And so I told them, look, maybe we can wait till Thursday, but we can't do it on Friday, the day we're closing, right? I mean, at minimum, we're going to do it the morning of Thursday, and everyone's going to hate me on my team, right? Yeah. And so, because then they all have to redo their documents and drop what they're doing. Oh yeah. So, long story short is, great. We relocked them on Thursday. Well, looking back on the charts, out of all the times we could have locked them, since the day we'd started, Thursday was the best day in the what was it, 21 or so days that they had waited. Yeah, it was just unreal how it worked out that way. It was just great. Could not have worked better. And then a week later, when they actually funded, the rates were, like I said, almost 100 basis points lower. I mean, it was just unreal.
And unreal. That's the Fed rate, not the interest rate.
No, I mean interest rates. Actual interest rates were like 100 basis points lower.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem right now is the Fed is it's like a baby. It's throwing mixed signals. And part of that problem is there's too many Feds. Yeah, I said it. There's more than one Fed, right? For those of you listening, right? There's more than one.
And that's the thing that people don't realize that. And different Feds really have kind of an expertise in different areas, but they're all allowed to talk about the same thing.
Right. So you've got Jerome Powell on Friday, who comes out and says, I think it's probably time to slow down or maybe stop rates, right? And that's paraphrasing, okay? And then you had another Fed chair from a different division or a different city come out over the weekend and said, we need at least 50 more basis points, at least. But he didn't say when or how or whatever. So it's like, God, so now we get to Monday and the market's like, nope, freaking out. And, it's just, if these people know what they're doing, they should be put in jail. If they don't know what they're doing, they should be re-educated. But either way, they should not be doing this. It's obnoxious. I mean, even laws were created from J.P. Morgan, like the original J.P. Morgan. After he would just come out and start saying things like, "Oh, we're not really sure about the how well this company is going to perform," and then all of a sudden the stock crashes. Right? He had to be put on a leash too. And they're trying to do it with Elon Musk.
Yeah, and like that's what I was going to say. Like Elon Musk, when he talks, things move. And
dude, can you imagine?
He's got to walk a fine line, though.
Yeah, but can you imagine if you were on his Twitter feed and in front of like a crypto.com or whatever? I don't know if that's even a thing, right? But you're ready to trade it, right? And he starts talking about Doggy Coin or Dogecoin or whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
And you just buy it as soon as he starts talking about this. Buy it. You realize the profits you could make based on just that man's tweets about fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Right. You just buy it as soon as he says something about it, and then boom, the next day sell it. I bet you there's people that do that.
Oh, I'm sure there are, and they're smart. I'm gonna kind of pause for a second, guys. We are obviously rambling about a couple of things that may or may not make sense.
Nothing to do with mortgage. Yes, yeah.
But the thing is, please, we always encourage user participation. So if you're watching and you want us to talk about something very specific, ask us. Outside of that, we're just going to keep drinking and rambling. And on that note, because this is what we're talking about. And so I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to get your thoughts on this. Maybe if I can. Okay. Yeah, I think I got it right. Okay. Can you see this?
A little bit, yeah.
So stocks are briefly spooked by confirmed fake report of an explosion near the Pentagon. Did you see this?
Oh, man. No, I did not see that.
So, oh, wait, now I've got to be able to try to figure out where it is again. Is it here? That is not where it is. Son of a gun. I just had it. Anyway, I was trying to go down. There it is. I found it. So here was the tweet that came out. Like there was a picture of an explosion at the Pentagon, and everybody started running with it. And the stock market, I don't know if it's in this one. It's not, and I'll pull it down. But the stock market within probably a minute after this absolutely just plummeted.
I wonder what the bond market did. I bet you it went up.
And then worked its way back up and got kind of back to level. But it's that same.
How many minutes did this happen today? Was this an hour, 15 minutes?
I don't know. I didn't get that specific on it. I just saw it in passing over my lunch. The
bond market would love that.
Yeah, right. And well, that's what you were saying last week, is that the bond market hates things being boring. You know, it loves a little bit of turmoil.
The bond market loves uncertainty. Okay. And I actually just told a client today that the bond market hates uncertainty. So let me be clear on this, because I did mean both. The bond market, when it has uncertainty in terms of, are we going to raise rates? Are we not going to raise rates? That's not good. And what it ends up doing is knee-jerk reactions. So just a tiny bit of news could send it up or down, because it's just not sure what's going on, right? So what's happening? What's happening? You know, just think of it like a paranoid, drug user or something, right? What? It's just one of those kinds of things, right? So the bond market does not like uncertainty. Okay, the bond market loves uncertainty. All right, what the hell are you talking about, Steve? Well, if a bank fails and we don't know what the problem is, but it's looking bad financially, bond market loves it, because people take their money out of the sure thing. Out of the unsure thing, right? And they put it into the bond market.
Sure thing. That's
right. Bond markets are stability markets. So if the right, well, kind of, you hope so. But if the stock market is crashing and you need to put your money someplace, you pull it out of the stock market, you put it into the bond market.
Right.
So when bad things happen, the bond market actually does well, which is great for rates. So I should probably use my verbs or my adjectives a little differently on that, because I'm using the same one for the opposite issues, but details.
right.
Uncertainty should be replaced with something else, right? But
the thing is, to your point, I mean, and I don't know. I guess it's a personal thought or a feeling on this, which is never a good thing. But to your point, that if you just followed Elon Musk and what he tweeted about, and you could probably make money in the stock market. But at the same time, because of all the computer algorithms and all the different things that are affecting when stocks sell, in portfolios and when they're bought and all this other stuff, all you have to do is come up with a doctored photo of something like that, and you can move the market. So if it dropped 3% and you bought, and then it went right back up 3%, well, shit, you made 3% on your money in one day.
Yes, but that is illegal.
It is.
Now,
I'm not saying
get the right
it's
VPN, or you have somebody else do it, or you coordinate it somehow, whatever, fine. But I mean, that's very highly illegal.
Yeah.
Like it's really interesting to me. These cryptocurrencies are forever currencies. You make a trade, and your address is logged forever on every single person's computer using them, right? That was the point of them.
That's the whole point.
But some of these people have made purchases of $500 million an hour before Coinbase releases a brand new currency, right? And then all of a sudden the cryptocurrency doubles or triples, quadruples, at 6,000% higher, and they sell their $500 million. It is now worth $500 billion, and that is the clearest case of insider trading, or I guess insider trade, but that's very, very illegal, but not with crypto, right? And I thought you froze for a second, because crypto hasn't been regulated.
I was looking at Michael's few photos to tweet now. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
Is he
What does that
taking
mean?
photos of us? What the hell, Michael?
Yeah. Oh, good. All right. Anyways, Michael, ask us a question. What do you want to know? What have you been hearing? What do you want to
That's a
see?
horrible question to ask him because he's going to ask something crazy. You know that.
Probably true. That's probably true. Well, brother, rates are high. We're in the low sevens right now. It's not looking good.
Rates are high. They're probably going to stay stable for a while.
I don't think so. It depends. I don't see us leveling out. Okay.
Really? You think we're going to continue to climb?
You think things are going to be boring in rates?
Yeah, I mean they have been, and there's really nothing changes. There's nothing that I think is going to change. I mean, okay, what happened today that made rates climb? Okay, well the Fed is arguing with itself, and I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'll tell you, we're sailing into this perfect storm. We have office spaces throughout the United States that aren't being used, right?
Yeah, we talked. Yeah.
There's just too many negatives and not enough positives right now. And then you throw, other world powers like China, that they're having their own economic issues that people aren't really talking about. And then there's this AI thing that's hit at the same time that is absolutely putting people out of work in droves. And that's just started. I think the mass majority of business owners don't really understand it or know how it works. And when they do, good luck.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know.
It's all interrelated. I mean,
yeah, and then the real one that really worries me is the BRICS nations, which I keep talking about. I know, but when they get off the dollar, which they've already stated they will,
yeah,
and then you've had a bunch of other smaller countries now pledge that they will as well. And once that happens, and they choose a currency, which will be the BRICS nation currency, they're going to create their own currency.
Yeah.
If we thought interest rates were high now, just wait. If we're not the world currency, our 7% today goes to 80, not 80, hello, probably 20 though, maybe 18, something like that, easily. So I don't know. I still think right now is a really great time to buy a house.
Well, and I was just gonna say, I was reading today that, and it's again, in times of turmoil, when things are when shit is absolutely hitting the fan. The people who come out on the other side ahead are the ones who invest wisely and buy at that point.
Yeah, I think the specific was when people are fearful, buy. When people are greedy, sell. Right?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, and I don't know where I heard this. I don't know if it's an allegory or what the correct term for it is, but it's always be the fireman. When people are running out, go in. And when people are going back in, haul ass.
You know where I read that today?
You read that today?
Was Bud Light. The investor was stating, right now, things couldn't look worse for Bud Light.
For Bud Light.
They have their stock price has fallen. People are running out the doors. It's dropped about 11%. Right? Conservatives hate them. Yep. Now liberals hate them because they didn't stand behind Mulvaney.
That's right. They're backing it off.
And so no one likes them. And I don't want to get political about it, but at the end of the day, it's a really good example of why when you're a company, you just don't go politics, right? Yeah. Just stay away.
Yeah. It's not your business. Your business is making money.
I'll tell you, if they ever do recover, it could be a great time to invest in Anheuser-Busch.
Well, yeah. So,
but you see how that feels right now? You see how that feels? That's why nobody does it. That's why very few do it. I don't know, man. I don't know. They're not doing very well. I don't know.
But watch this. Hang on. I'll because I'm here, Johnny, on the spot, right? Here you go. This is what's happened since the advertising.
Right. Yeah. It's pretty bad, but it also looks like it's not accelerating anymore. At least not like it was before.
It's slowing down. It's continued to drop, but it's slowing down. But here's the thing. This was the median. And what do we know about people? People have very short memories.
Right. So I think that
what
would be
you're
a good time to
saying
buy,
is
wouldn't it?
at this point, now that it's leveled off, you're not expecting to see another giant drop. Now that it's leveled off, would it make sense to buy in as it starts to work its way back up?
Isn't that funny?
I'm not a financial advisor, but
I know I'm not buying any. I
but
don't.
I
That's not
just
how I work. But yeah.
no, but it's going back to your point about when. Okay, when should you buy a house? It might be a good time. But you and I've said that for a
I
while.
honestly, man, I think now is the best time. I think you can find someone that's had their home in the market for months that, or has been, off and on the market, right? Like I have a neighbor up the street, still has not had a showing on her home, in a year now. I think she's had some people come to the open house. But I mean, are you telling me? And by the way, her husband died, so that's why from COVID. So that's why she doesn't want to move back into the house. Too many memories.
Yeah.
Is she gonna be a hardball negotiator after a year and wanting to get out? Like, you kidding me?
Nope. Bud's gonna buy my next house.
Dude, it's a $500,000 home. I bet you if you offered her 300, she'd sell, and it's worth 500,000.
Yeah.
Right. There are deals out there right now where if you and I were talking 2 years ago, we'd be laughing like, how is that still on the market? Why don't they have a line outside the door?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And P.S. those people haven't gone away. It was just they could afford it back then. The rates were so low. Right. People still want houses.
Well, that's the thing. And that's exactly what you're saying right now, because look, people that are in their houses and that don't have to sell, they're not selling. We've been over it, 3% interest, blah, blah, blah. I'm not selling this house. Okay. But am I looking to buy additional investment properties?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, if you were really smart, you'd move out of your house into a duplex. You'd do an FHA loan for 3.5% down.
And I would
move into one side.
One.
Yeah, short-term rent that one. After a year, you buy another duplex for 3.5% down FHA after refinancing your old FHA into a conventional. Boom. That gets around the rule for not allowing being able to have two FHAs that are less than 100 miles away. And as long as you live there for 1 year, it is absolutely legal to do this. You buy it as your own primary residence, not an investment. At the end of 10 years, you got 20 rental streams coming in. That's the way to go.
Yep.
You want to really push it up? You buy a quadplex and live in Unit A, and your wife buys a quadplex and lives in Unit A. And I mean 2 of them each year.
Yeah.
So at the end of the year, you have 8 rental streams for your next 2, right? So every year, so at the end of 10 years, you've got 80 rental streams coming in. Easier said than done. You got to find the quadplexes, right? But
you got to find them. But at the same time, 3.5% down. I mean, you're not it's not a huge leap. I mean, it's the same thing with plug your ears, because I'm going to say something you don't want to hear right now.
Are you going to plug somebody else? Yeah, go ahead.
No. Not going to plug anybody else. I'm going to plug buying an investment property somewhere else, and go in and get you a 10% down vacation loan and stick that sucker on Airbnb. Now, do your research about where you're buying it. But if it's somewhere that you want to be, chances are other people want to be there. So you start buying Airbnbs for 10% down. And guess what? Right now, people are getting the hell out of Airbnb because everybody's telling them, oh my God, it's oversaturated, blah, blah, blah. And so people are freaking out in Airbnb right now. So they're getting rid of their properties.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I didn't know that. And what else is funny to me is that Airbnbs make 3 times as much on average, at least, as a rental.
More.
Well, let's just say it gets cut in half. You're still making more, 50% more than you would if you were just doing the rentals. That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Quintupled plex, you can't do that. It can't be bigger than a quad, Aaron.
You know what? It can be, but then it becomes something else. So for a normal residential lender, thank you, Aaron, we can do 1 to 4 families.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the problem with the fourplexes, though, they're not that simple. Say you buy a duplex. I can use the rent that, say, Unit B is paying to offset, what you make every month, right? So I can use 75% of what they're paying to as income for you. And it doesn't really matter what the mortgage payment is. So in fact, I expect you to have a higher mortgage payment than collecting the rent, right? In other words, the rent's not going to be mortgaging you. Okay. So if you have a quadplex, however, those other 3 units have got to equal your mortgage payment, right? Otherwise, we've got a big issue. I run into all these stops where I can't use certain income, and I have to. It's really annoying. A quadplex is very annoying. A duplex or a triplex, those are easy. But as soon as you get to 4 family, that's really tough.
But it can be done.
can totally be done. If I were you, I would focus on the duplexes. I've never in my life seen a triplex. I think they exist. I've never seen one.
Yep.
Okay. Never physically with my eyes seen a triplex.
In actuality, they do exist. Or you want to
quads.
You want to get fancy. What would this do to your fancy little FHA loan? What if you bought a threeplex and then got with a lawyer and condoed it out and sold off each individual one?
Oh, well, it depends on the time frame.
After a year.
After a year, you can do whatever you want.
That's what I'm talking
about. Before a year, it was meant for a residential mortgage for a primary residence in that case, not for an investment. Therefore, if you turned it into investments within a year, you have now done more. You committed mortgage fraud.
Yeah.
You've taken a loan for a purpose that it was not intended for.
But the thing is, like, okay, I mean, because the housing market may stabilize for a while.
Bro, after a year,
it'll come back.
We stop. We don't.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is rent it out for now. And then if the market comes back and those things become more valuable, then split it up.
Dude, I can buy a home with a VA and turn it into a rental.
Yes, you can. And then you go.
And then I can go ahead and buy another VA. Yeah. Until I run out of eligibility, which today veterans have a ton of eligibility, whether they know it or not. Hey, if you were a Vietnam era, go ahead.
Aaron, are you listening?
Yeah, if you were a Vietnam era veteran, chances are you don't even know that you have bonus entitlement that wasn't around during the Vietnam era, but is today. And so, look, not everyone is created equal in this department, right? So VA is a little tricky to give you a blanket rule on, but there's almost nothing better. VA is really outstanding. And there's nothing that says you can't own 2 VA homes at the same time, although there are rumors out there that state you can't, but those are wrong. They're totally wrong. Anyways, have I lost you? Are you reading something? What's going on down there?
I got a message about this, but anyway, I'm not going to kill it. Yeah, you're a buzzkill. Oh, good. You're a buzzkill.
Yeah, buzzkill, bro. Buzzkill. Sorry.
Yeah, all right, man. Let's wrap it up at 32 minutes, guys. This is what we do every week. And look, without your input, we ramble. That's what we do, and we go from topic to topic. Which, if you're sitting in a bar with us, it could be great entertainment, which is basically what you're doing.
I guess. Yeah.
But anyway, if you want us to cover specific topics, please let us know. I mean, you can just, Shelly, we're still on. If you want us to cover, so why are you here if you didn't think we were on?
I think it's time for us to end the show.
Probably time for us to end the show. Guys, we're going to be back next time. If you've got comments or questions in the meantime, you can always drop them in the comments on Facebook or YouTube, because we will definitely get them. My friend, I appreciate it.
See you soon, friend.
Yes, sir.
Cheers.
Cheers.